So what's up, guys? Talk to me. How's everybody doing?
So far,
We're
so good,
doing.
brother.
Waiting for
Yeah,
snow and all this fun stuff.
yep, yep. I know, I know it.
All right, cool. So,
Jeez.
what's it called? First off, thanks for doing all this, for us and everything. It's greatly appreciated. I
Oh,
know, like this technology, I can't stand it.
when it comes to it. Barry's my boy. I'll do anything for Barry, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
man. It's good. It's good to have a legend that you could call once in a while. Say, hey, man, I need an interview. You know.
It's cool having good friends, man. Great brothers.
That's it,
Oh,
brother. That's it, brother.
Awesome.
let's do it.
Yeah, man, Al, man. So, yo, let us know. I know you wanted to try to get off some of the things that you got going on now down in with your new band. I mean, you want to get some of that off so we can at least hear what's going on with you and what's going to be coming about with the rest of that band and what's going on from there.
Oh man, dude, we're working. We had rehearsals again yesterday. It's way heavier than what I thought it was going to be. It's going to kick some ass, man. It's just pounding metal, as Exciter would say.
Okay, all right.
Nice.
Pretty
And
much.
what's it cross for like what do you feel is like what style is it more thrashy, old school power metal, what?
Lot of like slow, doomy stuff, man. Sounds a bit like Candlemass, kind of, which is a change
Okay.
of pace. But since it's vocals, I'm open to anything right now. As long as I can
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
dope.
And that's that. And nothing, man. I got that. I got a solo thing that I'm going to work on, but that's further in the future. And that's just, you heard the demo. That's kind of just classic metal. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Awesome.
That's what's up.
Can't wait to hear that.
Oh, I have Barry sent it to you. I sent them an old demo, but of the other band of Apocalypse Rising, so you can get an idea of what I could do singing.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah, that's what I was telling. Yeah, I was telling you about that, Frank. I got some of it, so we could probably play. We'll play some of that on Friday.
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So yeah, the new band is called Feral Blood. Members are Michael Arcane on drums, Chris Aguirre on guitar, Jason Richter on bass, and myself on vocals. And yeah, it's just really, we went for one thing and it ended up not being like that. So it's really, really just so fucking heavy, dude.
Awesome. Yeah, man, we definitely dig the heavy. We need the heavy. There's too much, too much going on. I think with music, how like everything kind of repeats itself. Everything to me is starting to start to sound the same and all blend. We need that. We need
Yeah.
that old school feel. To come back and just knock everything out again. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like the fast is all done, Let's go slow again. Start all over. Start from scratch,
Yeah, I mean that's just the way it just should be now because I mean a lot of the stuff. I mean that's why we notice a lot of the bands who are coming back they come back because a lot of the sound that's coming out now is just so bland.
Yeah.
You need to have sometimes you just need to bring in the old to rejuvenate a population again.
Oh, you know what I mean? Evolve, go back. But
Yeah,
the kids
yeah, absolutely.
are worshiping the old stuff. Look at Ryan, man, for instance. He loves all
Yeah,
the old shit.
yeah.
Makes it easier. They love all the soul folk.
Yeah, it's what it's all about, man. We're still jamming it out, bro. We can still
Right.
do it.
So, Alex, how do you feel about like extreme metal then versus like the extreme metal now?
Okay, well then we didn't know what the hell extreme metal was. We were just playing with malevolence. Is that we got to be faster and crazier than Rain and Blood was our template. I mean, so difference is that now these guys have a template of their own, I guess, but it's already an established sound. when we started, we didn't have that sound established. There was like Slayer on steroids, is what we called them, with Cookie Monster singing to say nothing better.
Well, you know what? When you guys were doing Malevolent, I don't know. Brett was far from a typical Cookie Monster sound. That when he was singing with you guys at that time. You know, that was. I mean, there was the real guttural vocals, but Brett would just had that style where you could hear the extreme, but you could understand what he was saying.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Yeah, it was different with Brett, man. Brett never was Cookie Monster. I mean, that really took off with Barnes. I got to be honest with Chris Barnes. That old real deep shit, which ruled, man. At the time was the shit. Nobody ever. Then we heard. Before that, everybody heard John Tardy and shit their pants. Still the best to me.
Yeah.
I've been imitated, but
Breaking up a little bit here. Hold on.
I was saying John Tardy, he's often imitated, but never duplicated.
Yes,
Talking
definitely.
about John Tardy.
So how's everything been? How's everything been like so far, like post COVID and everything, as far as you know, getting in there and, you know, just trying to, you know, pound stuff away. I know, like, you know, like stuff closes and everything like that. Like I know New York is insane, but like how is it out there in Arizona, like with the scene and stuff like that?
It's not. There's barely shows coming back now. They shut down for a year like everybody else. But I mean, it's gonna sound bad, but I don't mean it in a bad way. It kind of worked out for me because I got sick. Now with COVID, other things were happening. And it happened around the same time. So the shutdown, I had to shut down anyways. So it was like not, and I know it sucks for everyone. It still sucks, but I was going to get screwed either way. So I'm getting better. I'm still not fully healed, but I'll be back, man, working little by little, getting back. I'm going to be a minute, but I'll be back on them too.
Awesome.
Oh. Yeah, Alex, man, you know how I feel about that, man.
But this was actually one question I had from a friend of mine, and I guess this kind of ties into it. Like, what type of stuff are you doing to like get into drumming shape or vocal shape now? Like, I guess like the transition between drumming and vocals, or, you know, vice versa.
Well, little known fact was that my first band with Dennis Munoz and Tony Troy of Cynic, Atheist fame, I was a drummer singer. Kind of like not as heavy excited. When we heard excited, we turned into that. But so I've always sung a little bit, man, and just didn't want to sing and play anymore. And taking the time now, I'm still healing from a surgery. I can't really play right now until I completely heal because I'll reopen the wound. I had a big foot surgery, and until that is healed, I can't play a drum. So it gives me time to be creative vocally, you know, be able to still create music.
Yeah. And dude, I told you, man, I love your freaking vocals, bro. I told you that, and I said, yo, I know that you're very, very underrated vocals, bro. Very underrated.
No, dude, nobody knows. Not yet.
Nah, they don't. They don't. When you sent me those tracks years ago, I remember I was like, what? I said, get the fuck out of here. I said, yo, I showed to I left, you know, a couple of people here, and they're like, who's that? I said, that's freaking Marquez. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's like, yeah. Yo, man,
Well,
multi-talent, man.
Sure, Frank did. I don't know if you guys have Create a Kill at all. The Create a Kill shit I did with Gus.
No, I don't think I've heard it.
Yeah.
Did you send it to me?
I did Create it. I'll get your Frank's address and yours after this. I'll send you a couple copies I still have. It was me,
Cool.
Gus, Daniel Gonzalez from Possessed is on it, Matt from Gruesome, Tobias from Vomitory, and Dirt from Megadeth on the drum track as well. Yeah, it's brutal. I did all the vocals. It sounds. I was told I sound like a skinny blonde kid.
Oh my God!
Nice.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be
Oof.
yo man, yo, they're gonna be hating on me and Frank when we get that. That's right.
That's it. Well, they'll be hating on Metal Messiah Radio because I'll just
That's right.
I'll do a whole show dedicated to that right there. I'll play the whole thing front to back, and some choice cuts from everybody involved, their old projects, whatever, and we'll make a whole thing about it. So definitely.
Get out for you, no problem. That'll rule.
Awesome. Another question that I had too. What was it like transitioning from from Solstice, then to Malevolent, and then to Demolition Hammer, as far as like coming up with parts and like I always, to me they're three totally different projects, all equally awesome. But like if you want a little bit of like groove, you'd kind of listen to like the Demo Hammer. If you wanted more of the thrash, then you'd listen to like the Solstice stuff, and then of course the death metal, that's Malevolent. So like how'd you transition from like those bands as far as coming up with parts and just keeping it fresh?
And the Solstice and the Malevolent was just like hand in hand, pretty much. You could tell the drumming's. The Solstice is more it's more complex, I guess, at parts, but the drumming's not that different. Now, fast forward to Time Bomb, that was all just groove. And it pretty much came naturally, but I hadn't done something like that yet. Not to that extent, you know what I mean? Where it was all groove. Resurrection somewhat, but not as much, you know what I mean? It wasn't that big a deal, but it was definitely fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a great time. Derek and Devin.
Yeah, because Time Bomb was definitely one of my biggest influences for drumming. Like I know I've given everybody like my timeline. Barry knows this too. My timeline for metal is kind of, I got into it late, but then had to just go reverse and everything. I didn't have YouTube or any of that stuff that that everybody has today. Same thing with us. So I would look to like the tape traders and just word of mouth, and found this local kid that was like, Demolition Hammer from the Bronx, that's the band to listen to if you're gonna try and get into that stuff. Like, because at that time I wasn't too into like Machine Head, or I was still finding out about Pantera as far as like the groove stuff, and it was Demo Hammer, that Time Bomb record, that really just, that took me to like where I wanted to be musically, and the Pantera, of course, and then that led me down the rabbit hole, and then I eventually found Exhorder and all those dudes too. So, but huge shout out and thank you for making that, man. Like, tell you.
Yeah, once you fall in that rabbit hole, what the hell happened there? Once you fall in that rabbit hole, you ain't getting out. You're stuck, bro.
That's it. Especially on tracks like like Missing and Unidentified, where it's just like really like the drums is, to me, is what makes that whole album really work. Especially coming from like everybody was so like hepped up on Vinny Days' playing, and then unfortunately what happened with him, and then the hiatus, and then Time Bomb came out. And to me, that came out at like the right time, for anybody that was just getting into metal and everything else. Because what sucks is that just like every year, it's always the popular shit that is right in front of your face, and then you gotta just take a step back and then find the hidden gems, like Demolition Hammer, Exhorder, even like Testament. At that time too, to me, like a lot of people gave up on them, and like my cousins were huge metalheads, and I know for a fact like they thought the Testament was done until like they started seeing like the albums in like the 2000s. Like, holy shit, I guess they're back. I'm like, dude, they had like X amount of albums prior to that.
Oh yeah, I mean, for me, they were done. I didn't like it. Everybody loves Souls of Black. thumbs down for me. It's just my birth. But then they did come back with a vengeance. Dude. Everything else from that one album, from Demonic, I like Demonic. I think it rules, dude. It's a death metal album, but I think it rules.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the one where Dave Lombardo played on that. The Gathering.
Gathering.
Oh man. Yeah.
Okay.
Lombardo.
Lombardo, you're like, I gotta buy it.
Yep. Got to see them. I got to see them perform live on that one. At least, man, I was so happy to see that. That was a great show, man.
You can buy about on South of Heaven the first time. I did have tickets to go to Rain and Blood. It was Slayer and Nasty Savage in Miami, and Slayer canceled. And I did go to see Nasty Savage. Fell in love with them.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I would have been able to say I saw Rain and Blood, but I'll take South of Heaven.
Oh my goodness. Man, but everything else is going okay down there, Alex. I mean, as far as how's the wife, how's everybody doing over there?
She's good. She's good. She's a little mad at me now, as usual. But no, we're good. Everything's good. It's just I'm gonna tell you it's cold. It ain't cold here. It's cold where you are.
Yo, man, we're getting this crazy ass weather up here, man. We don't know whether it wants to snow, rain, sleet, ice. We don't know what's going on up here.
I'm from Miami, so 40 degrees is cold to me, man.
Oh, dude.
Crazy. We should have listened in the 80s when they started with the getting rid of styrofoam and the ozone layer and all this stuff. They thought everybody was nuts. Now look what happened.
Yeah, right. Too late now.
That's it. Too much aqua.
We can still say
man.
Yeah. Too much Aquanet.
Yeah, definitely a lot of aqua. So I never had use for.
Damn. Yo, Alex, do you still get people that come up to you? I mean, as far as, me and Frank could sit here and we could just tell you, like I said, I mean, I consider you my brother and a best friend, but I always consider you one of the greatest drummers. And I've always told you that. I've always said that. Do you still get people to this day come up to you and say, like, yo, that Malevolent Creation album, that Solstice album, how does that make you feel now that, even years, those albums, those great albums you put out, how does it make you feel people still come up to you, even old folks like me and Frank and to the younger generation?
I mean, it never gets old. It's still a great feeling. It happened to me the other day. And of course, everybody always goes back to Retribution, which kick ass, And it's really cool when you get young kids, like kids in their 20s and teens, and dude, Retribution. Then you go, whoa, how do you know? Oh, my older brother. You know what I mean? And it's awesome. It's awesome.
Well, at this stage, Grandpa, because eventually my grandkids are gonna be like, Grandpa, Retribution. I'm like, yeah,
that would rule. That would rule. That'd make my century, whatever, decade.
Yeah, any of my grandkids get into drumming, that's gonna be probably the first thing I give them. Here, listen to this. And then copy that, then get back to me.
Yep.
That's the cool
part. Dude, man, you got to listen to Frank's son, Vinny. Yo, awesome guitarist, man. His son is. How old is your son again, Frank?
He's 8, going on 28
years old. Dude, very, very mature kid. Fucking plays guitar, awesome.
Oh man, I love to hear Frank.
Yeah, he's getting there. He'll be a YouTube sensation pretty soon.
Dude, that rules. I'm so envious of you right now.
It's funny because he's heard some of your stuff too, and he was asking. He's like, "Oh, ask him this, ask him that." I'm like, I'm not bombarding him with all these crazy 8-year-old questions. It's like, I wanted to stay away. I wanted to stay away from all the the typical like, what drums do you play, and what kind of heads do you use, and how do you tune, and I'm like, come on, like, um, but one thing he actually that stuck out. I'm glad Barry kind of mentioned him. A little segue. He actually wanted to know if you have any like guilty pleasures musically that you'd want to like share. Anyway.
I've said, I'm gonna say it again. I fucking love the Bee Gees, bro.
Ah, that's it.
Great songwriters, man. So there's one. There's one for you. I'll give you one.
That's fine.
All right, yeah, but the Bee Gees could go anywhere. You tune the Bee Gees down, man. They're death metal.
I don't know what it'll be like death metal with King Diamond vocals.
Right.
Right. There you go.
Well, and Ozzy covered "Staying Alive," so that went pretty well.
That's pretty cool. There's actually an Australian band called Tragedy. They do an all metal Bee Gees tribute. They're fucking badass.
Wow. Oh shit, that would be something to check out.
Metal. The Bee Gees songs metal style.
Nice.
I would like to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I'd have to check that out too. Maybe get them on the show. That would be kind of interesting to see how something like that came about.
I'll be asking them questions then.
Oh
Awesome.
Man. Well, speaking of All-Star, I mean, if you had what happened?
I said the lighting in this room sucks, but we'll get it done.
That's all right. It's all right. I got now that you say that we talked about like there's all cover. If you had a chance to do an all-star lineup with you playing drums, of course, dead or alive, who would be in your band?
Metal or in general?
Put it this way: it's your band, whatever way you want. Dead or alive, who would you put in your band?
Metal-wise, I would obviously play drums. I'd have Dio on vocals, Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads, and Jaco Pastorius on bass. That would be my metal band. Nice. Then if you get other music, I would have what else is his name? And Benny Moré, the Cuban singer. I would have Jaco again, and man, I don't even know. There'd be so many people, so many. I love Afro-American music so much too. So.
All right, yeah, that's right.
When I was growing up, I hated the shit because my dad used to crank it all the time, and now I love it. As I got older, I've learned to appreciate it.
No, it's always like that. I mean, my mom's always played like music from the 50s and 60s growing up as a kid, and then it sticks with you. It does.
Another. I'll give you one more guilty pleasure because you guys are my bros. The Ranchero Fernandez. I love that shit, dude. Love that dude.
Okay.
One of my favorite singers.
Yeah.
One of my favorite singers.
He's pretty popular.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cool.
Weird, huh?
Yeah.
No, you know what, man? That's the thing. A lot of us people, like a lot of people feel like all metalheads just stick to metal, but they forget that a lot of the times we do have a wide variety of different music. I mean, I like, I still like old school hip hop. I can listen to reggae. I can listen to classical music. It just all depends. What mood I'm in, I guess, at that moment. But look, if we're all musicians, a lot of times you nitpick at little things that trigger you. I mean, you guys are drummers. You probably hear a lot of things with drums that just, oh, that sounds good. I was a bass player at one point, so anything that had bass, I was listening to it. So, hey, you just gotta broaden your horizon. That's what makes you more of an appreciative of music and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, we got since especially. I mean, and I'm not saying not everyone, but for me personally, being a Cuban American, I got bombarded with all sorts of shit. Right? So I don't me years later, as I grew up, I learned to appreciate anything but brutal death metal. Everything else but brutal death metal. I mean, I still love brutal death metal, but back then, everything else was poser. I didn't even care about thrash anymore at one point.
Yeah, it was the weight, I guess growing up, everything was like you started off small and then just got heavier and heavier and heavier, and you denounced a lot of the stuff you didn't really listen to. Yeah, it happened. It happened to me. I was into
Guilty.
a lot of the yeah. We all, and it's not like, put it this way. Right now, you could put on some Motley Crue. I'll enjoy it. Back then, I would tell you, "What are you doing?" Like.
Metal Holocaust going here. Every old thing you can think of.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm even thinking about Wasp, man. I would love to go to that Wasp show if I get a chance to go.
Yeah.
Are they gonna hit your area?
Hold on. Okay.
Uh-oh.
A random one. Marching out. If you can see it. It's like shit. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm going to that show. They're coming here. They're coming to Mesa.
Oh, nice.
But I'm going more to see Armored Saint, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool to see Armored Saints coming with them. That's gonna be pretty cool.
It still is. We love them. Still putting out quality metal.
Yep. Yeah, the last time I saw John Bush was with Anthrax at that at the 9/11 show that they did in the city, where they came out wearing the suits, the "We're not changing our names."
That's when the Anthrax thing was going around. Yeah.
That was the last time I saw him. So I'm glad that he's back with Armored and that they're touring and everything, man. And that, Wasp too. That's like a bucket list thing, for me. So kill two birds with one stone.
Agreed, brother. Yeah, I remember that Anthrax show. And that 9/11 year, I had tickets to see them September 15th with Iced Earth in Orlando. And obviously, that all went to happen, but that would have ruled that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, that time was nuts too. that screwed, just like COVID, it screwed a lot of bands over, and people were stuck everywhere, and they couldn't see their families or anything. It was just that was a whole mess.
I can't presume or pretend to know what you guys felt being right in the heart of it, but I mean, we were whatever amount of miles away. We were all. It was just a whole somber country, man. I get emotional just talking about it. It was a bad time.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I ended up going down there for a couple of days afterwards and seeing it firsthand. It was something that would always stay etched in my mind. To me, it didn't look real. It looked like a movie scene. Up close, it looked like a movie scene. It was crazy.
That's
same.
For us, it was totally a movie because it was on TV. I mean, I literally woke up and thought I had left the TV on randomly. And I actually did see, I was getting ready for work when that second plane hit. I dropped to my knees and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Something.
I would never have thought this country, but enough. We're going to get all sad over here.
Yeah, nah. No more sadness.
But touching on that, I mean, we were talking to Slayer. At least, I had the music to fall back on for that because, what's it called? God Hates Us All was actually released that same day.
Yeah.
And I was working at Tower Records at the time, and I picked it up and everything. And after everything, I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to listen to Slayer. I'm pissed off. And that was just the perfect soundtrack to end the most fucked up day of anybody's life, really. I
remember that, dude. You just gave me goosebumps. I remember that, and it was like you couldn't help but have a feeling that maybe God did hate us all at that moment. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
Yeah. Even the last track, Payback. I'm reading the lyrics, and I'm like, wow, that sums it up right there.
Like, give me
prophesied.
Over. It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, COVID's another, Jesus. And we've been lucky here in Arizona, you know, I don't want to talk politics, but we've been lucky here that we've been not as open as Florida, but we've been pretty open. You know what I mean? There's no more masks. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just telling you how it is. You guys are still in lockdown, aren't you?
Well, up here they just they implemented back of people wearing the mask, going back inside stores and shit. At first it was like they took it off after a while, and then they put it back. Got Omicron kicking everybody's ass up here.
Omicron. We invented our own here, and it's talking about we didn't invent shit. I said we call the methods here lerpticons. There are lerps. When lerper, there are lerpticons.
I'm waiting for Megatron to come make an appearance.
Exactly. That's it.
No. Let's keep him out of here.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
But
what's it called? I just
awesome for doing.
But
thank you.
Thank you.
I'm just saying thank you.
I actually, I hate to do this, but I just got a stupid notification up here that we're running out of time and it's going to cut us off. So I don't want to get into anything too in depth. Otherwise, it's going to just cut off, and then I don't know how to start something up again.
Before, I know what you're talking about. I happen to be with my doctor. There you go.
Yeah. Gotcha. 40 minutes went by. That went by fast.
Yeah.
It's been that. So I have to make fight for family, bro.
What was that? You're breaking up.
I said that's what happens when you're talking to family. Time goes by fast.
Exactly.
But man, before we get cut off, I want to thank everyone, man, that has had my back throughout this whole chaos that I'm going through physically, mentally, because of that. Well, everyone for having my back, especially my close brothers like Barry, who's always looking out for me. I always get calls and check-ins from Barry to make sure I'm doing okay. And that, I can't explain what that means to someone who's going through shit. So thank you, Barry. Thank everybody out there.
All right, man. I love you, brother.
I love you, Barry, man.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Well, thank you, bro. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Frank. Pleasure to meet you and talk to you, brother.
Likewise. Thank you again, Alex. Stay safe.
Anytime.
Stay well.
Flow.
You got it.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right.